bring up the point you mentioned, managed marketplace, which are often fun with a lot of moving pieces, and typically I would say people and kind of ops intensive. So it sounds like Onefinestay was, and a lot could potentially kind of go wrong. So could you share maybe some of the challenges with it?
Yes, a lot did go wrong. So I think we certainly learned that. So I think for our business specifically, one of the hardest things to balance always was seasonality, and how you basically had this like baseline of staff. And like we could talk about HQ staff, but actually, even if you look at the city level had, like a customer service team, and that customer service team is not a variable cost; it's a fixed cost. And we had, a sort of an implementation team, a take-on team. And actually, when people are away in the summer, like not that many people wanted to list their homes on the platform or add their homes to the platform. So balancing what it was the structural seasonality of the business with the cost structure of the business. And again, that's before we get to hard problems around sales and marketing to the client, was like this constant theme, and how much each specific city like node, and we ran each city on its own P&L, each city node could actually contribute to HQ costs, was just like the thing that we talked about constantly. So what is a fixed cost? What's a semi-variable or semi-fixed cost? And what's a true variable cost? And what we found, unfortunately, was not economies of scale. So the gross margin never really got better. It didn't always get worse, but that was something that it was really easy to put in an Excel file that like, hey, over time, our gross margins are going to improve because of this efficiency and that efficiency. But the reality is, when you're running an operationally intensive business, it's easier to suffer from diseconomies of scale than economies of scale. So you hire a customer service team, and then suddenly that customer service team needs a manager. And suddenly you're, basically staffing for more of a, like sort of a semi-peak than like the trough. So these were things that I think every marketplace founder should really be acutely aware of, which is what is your seasonality, and what's a fixed cost and what's a variable cost, and how do you really have a model that works throughout the cycle.